It's Saturday Ike Live! Your host, Ike Palmer. Stick around, the show's gonna start very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second ever episode of Saturday Ike Live. How we doing? How we doing this fine evening? We got a interesting roster ahead of us at the moment. Man, there's been some crazy fucking shit going on Twitter recently, and I'm here to cover it. Let's fucking go. I'm just gonna chuck on some music. Let's go. Very nice. Alright, so, had a couple of stories I wanted to bring to you this fine night, this fine evening. As Ike usually does on Saturday nights. And I didn't disappear for like 3 months. I didn't do it once and then just like stop doing it forever. So you guys are welcome, very much so. So I just wanted to, couple things I found kind of funny, interesting things happening around in the interwebs, and also an update on the bombshell that dropped last week in the middle of the stream, the Andy Dick story. And it's had some interesting developments to say the least, but we'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to that very, very soon. But first, I want to open with with a very, very interesting take that a content creator by the name of Mr. Enter had on a movie. So if you guys haven't heard, Mysterious Mr. Enter, he's a bit of a commentary dude. Interesting character. He kind of went on a rant in the middle of a review of the Disney movie Turning Red, and this is about, the film is about a 13-year-old who basically turns into a big fucking panda. It's kind of furry bait, but like it has nothing to do with his big criticism of it. So here we go. Let's play this goddamn clip.
This film takes place less than a year after the September 11th terrorist attacks. I bring this up because it radically...
I bet you weren't expecting that one, huh? The review of a Disney movie? They didn't mention a terrorist attack? Dude. This is obviously a very interesting take, a very hot and spicy take. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
radically altered the culture of the time in ways that make this movie feel exceptionally ignorant of the time. Even though literally the only reason I can comprehend that this movie is set explicitly in 2002 is because the director grew up in that exact year. Yes, this film takes place in...
Who would have thought? Who would have fucking thought that the film took place in a time that the director could empathize with or literally base off their own life? Who would have thought that? What the fuck? What a fucking revolutionary thought that is.
Canada, not the United States, but all over the Western world. Canada, America, the UK, much of Europe. People were paranoid because 9/11 wasn't the only terror attack that had happened. It was the major theme of the decade. I mean, I can understand not wanting everyone to be so fearful, as that goes against the tone that the movie is trying to establish. But then you have very awkward moments if you actually were there and you do actually remember the time period. This film takes place less than a year after...
So, basically, this motherfucker's like, this giant red panda isn't talking about 9/11. Mind you, she's 13 in this film, right? I don't recall when I was 13 talking about recent terror attacks. I mean, that might just be me, but I don't know. Maybe I was a weird kid. Just what an interesting fucking take. And then he goes on this, how many fucking, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of tweets. This big spiel on Twitter. So let's get into that, shall we? Good to know that after a career of insulting people, getting things blatantly untrue, going into anti-mask rants, this is your moral line. This is the moment where you said too far, when I thought that a mediocre movie didn't properly represent its stated year. Keep fighting the good fight, even if you have to take things out of context. You look phenomenal doing so. I'm sure Disney knows they've got loyal customers that will ignore them working with despotic governments as they sell your values back to you. In a way, it's really satisfying to piss Twitter off. Why? Because the shits I had to deal with on actual hate forums are less toxic and pathetic than the community here. Good luck with that Elon Musk buyout. I hear we talked about that last week. I hear you guys loved him too when he stood for the right things. Remember, when you guys love J.K. Rowling for queer baiting, only ever saying that her characters were LGBT after the fact. I could go on and on. The names change, but the stories are always the same. It gets fucking old, and people in general are getting tired of your excrement. Okay, so he basically just, like, it's all just bullshit. Okay, lol, Sigma male. What is he even talking about? What is the relevance to any of this? Like, why bring this shit up? It's kind of stupid. He's just going on a schizo rant, like fucking 40 tweets later, and he's like, oh, okay, like, what the fuck? This motherfucker has no idea what he's talking about. Hello, welcome Luke56. Welcome to the stream, dude. It is indeed big swag. Okay, so next story I want to bring to you is a little bit of a update on the whole Andy Dick story. So I did a little bit of research, and I feel incredibly uncultured now that I've actually looked it up. But Andy Dick, this guy was a comedian, and he's in a lot of things that I've seen, and I thought he looked familiar, but in his current state, I literally did not recognize him at all. I saw him and I was like, oh, he looks familiar, but I didn't recognize him as Andy Dick, the comedian. I didn't know him by name, of course. You know, he's in like, Dude, Where's My Car? And shit like that. He had his own show for a while. But he's a comedian, right? And he's fallen on hard times, and he's been abusing some substances. And due to this and his, let's say, egotistical, maniacal behavior, he got kicked out of his LA apartment after countless years of being addicted to drugs and having bad mental health. And he took a trip to Las Vegas with a couple of his buddies, well, people he thought were his buddies, and then he gets ditched in Vegas. He gets left in Vegas to fend for himself, where he finds that he gets brutally beaten up. And this isn't the first time. As actor John, what's his name? John Lovitz beats the shit out of him. This was in like 2007. You know, John Lovitz. Hang on, one moment, please. This motherfucker. Imagine this guy beating the shit out of you. That's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, that's relevant. So he gets absolutely destroyed in Vegas. And due to his poor circumstances and the fact that he was ditched in a place that he probably isn't very familiar with, Wappy Flanker, the good Samaritan, the saint of this situation, shall I say, decides to take Andy Dick into his arms and look after him. And by look after him, I mean exploit him for text-to-speech donations on a live stream where he's constantly streaming his existence. And in doing this, he's drugging Andy to keep him in the cot and on the live stream to, you know, subsequently keep the revenue coming in. And then a guy named Attila comes in and he's like, hey, look, let's take Andy for In-N-Out. Fucking In-N-Out burgers, dude. And Wappy's like, no, I'm not having none of this, dude. He pulls a gun and he's like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, dude. This is what we saw last week. And finally, I have I don't know if this is a good conclusion to the story, but Wappy Flanker got raided or swatted, and it's kind of a positive turn of events, because now at least we know that there's been a welfare check. We know that Andy Dick is somewhat okay, I guess. I wouldn't put money on that, however. So here's the video of Wappy and Andy getting raided.
Now I got someone pounding on the gate.
Yeah, you do. You get it, dude?
Oh, I guess it's the police.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
No, that's not true.
Crotch shot. Very
No
nice,
reason for them
dude.
to come over here.
Pounding, they're not welcome, but...
There's no reason to come here. We're all laying down resting.
I think that's Andy talking. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. That's it.
Desperate viewers, dude.
They're sending over gifts. That's what they're doing.
Desperate
That's
viewers,
hot.
dude.
We're not doing
Don't
What
it.
answer.
the fuck?
What?
So we got the cops in the background
Hey,
there
what's he
screaming,
saying?
"Open up, dude!" Free, hashtag free Andy in the chat. Let's go.
It's the viewers
Let's
are
get a
swatting us.
hashtag free Andy in the chat. Let's go. Wow, finally someone doxing for good reasons. I do not condone doxing. Doxing bad. Doxing is very much not endorsed on the Ike Palmer channel.
Don't answer. Don't even answer. Is that somebody outside?
There's somebody outside. I think Andy has no fucking idea what's going on.
I do back the blue, buddy, but you guys are like swatting us.
Quiet.
There's no reason for me to answer
Quiet.
for it.
Listen to him. Listen to him.
Oh, yes.
This motherfucker's literally like, "Why are you swatting us?" He's holding this dude hostage. Well, see, it's kind of hard to say because Andy is in such a position where his life is really down in the dumps. Like, he's really not having a good time. And Wappy to let him in. Like, he doesn't have a place to live. Andy doesn't have a place to live at the moment. So for Wappy to just be the good Samaritan and take him in and look after him and supply him with booze and drugs, it's kind of, I don't know. It's not the good thing to do, but it is a thing to do. Absolutely. And I think if he were to be on the streets, like actually homeless, then it probably, I don't know, would it end much different? Would it end worse? Would it end better? What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think.
All right, I have to go outside. All right, come to the door. My hands are up. My hands are up, sir. I need to unlock the door. Permission to unlock the door. Hands are here. I need to unlock the door. All right, so I have to unlock the handle, okay? And then the deadbolt. Right now, I'm coming out. Hands are up. Hands around the door. Hands are up, sir. All I have are keys in my left pocket. Yes, sir. Why are you coming to my house? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's a loud animal.
I don't know.
Alright, this is basically all just Andy. Then he decides to, he gets up. See, like here, this one fucking still frame. I had no idea who the fuck this was. I did not recognize him at all. But, you know, after I did a little bit of research, I'm like, damn, I'm really that uncultured. I had no idea who the fuck this guy was at all. So if we just skip through. Andy Dick gets up.
Are you inside the house? We're coming in. Come in. What's going on?
Hey, cops here. Give us permission to come inside of the house. He's just, yeah, dude, come in. What are you doing? Come in. Get in here, dude.
All right, come in. What's going on? He's right here. Yeah, I see him. Come in. Over down. Hey, Andy, come on here. Come on over, please. Yeah, what's going on?
First thing Andy does is go and get
Okay. No
a
weapons on you.
fucking beer or something.
Turn around. Walk. Take him outside.
Andy, that doesn't mean crack open a seltzer in the chat. It's gone now. That's funny.
All this is running through that area. 825, we got the third person in custody, both walking over single residence.
And here we go. The actual cops have arrived.
Metro, please, if you're here, make some noise.
Isn't that insane? This is... I watched this before the stream. And my favorite part of this is coming up.
You for that room?
I'm going in right now,
Okay,
sir.
let I got you.
Metro, please, if you're here, make some noise.
Metro Police, you're inside. Sound off. Prepare for welfare check. Metro Police.
Look at the
Sound off.
fucking... Look at the chat. Hey yo! Hey yo! All of it, mommy, goddamn. Thick. The last thing was fucking thick. I just, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just thought that was really fucking funny. Just right at the end, the chat's like, oh my god, finally somebody saved Andy Dick. Yo, the cop's thick as fuck, dude. Let's go. Motherfuckers. Anyway, as a result of this, Wappy has lost his income, basically. He's lost his cash cow. The cash cow's left the pasture. The green goose, the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden eggs, has been slaughtered, absolutely demolished. And so he's basically just doing this. Sleeping on the fucking floor for money. And I just wanted to say, Billy the Fridge continues to be my favorite person in the fucking world. You can't see that. Hang on one sec. There we go. Billy the Fridge, any one of us could spend $2 to TTS and flip him over. We are all choosing to be Walter White. This is why I love Billy the Fridge so much. He's the most base motherfucker I've ever met. So awesome. This motherfucker just epic in every single sense of the word. He's just so fucking good. And I also want to share with you this kind of interesting take in the comment section of Wappy Flanker's live stream. Andy is broke. He has no money. He has a lot of debts. Andy is homeless. He has a lot of enemies. Andy is a megalomaniacal celebrity whose ego makes him insufferably volatile. Wappy has taken him in to detox his addiction to hard drugs and then wean slowly off his alcohol dependency. You people leaving comments have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You're all mentally deranged psychopaths with misery fetishes. Something tells me that's not exactly what's going on here. Something tells me that there's a little bit more to the story, personally. But, alas, here we are. Wappy Flanker has lost his income and currently is streaming. Oh my god. The stream has ended. He's literally just streaming himself sleeping. It literally just ended 2 seconds ago, but this is it. This is the whole stream. Just fucking white noise and this motherfucker sleeping. It's over now though, which is sad. It's so sad. How is Wappy Flanker gonna get his money? How is he gonna earn those text-to-speech donations and exploit Andy? Oh, he can't anymore because they set him free. They saved Andy. I think this is one of the stories that will have a good ending on Saturday Arc Live. One of the first ones to ever come across my news desk. And I hope most of them have happy endings like this, but who knows? I really wish Andy the best. I hope he cleans up his act. I hope he gets his shit together and decides, you know what? Time to get clean. Time to get back into comedy. Time to do what he does best. And you know what? I'll drink to that. Good luck, Andy. I wish you the best, my friend. Alright. Up next on the docket, we have a little content creator known as H3H3 Productions. Most famous for the H3 podcast. He has lost his sponsors after the clip that I played last week where he was saying homophobic things. He has lost his sponsors, and this is the exact thing that he wanted to happen to other content creators, mind you. But as Keemstar elegantly puts in this tweet, in 2020, Ethan Klein attacked my sponsors, starting a trend of YouTuber going after sponsors. Now that it's happening to him, he cries.
We have no sponsors because I am an existential threat to gay rights and all progress. So, of course, our wonderful fans have taken upon themselves to write all of our sponsors and to have them not sponsor or not to support us. I'll just say this. I'm very thankful to our members because it makes this show kind of bulletproof to stuff like this. It's just painful that, you know, people would do that. There it is. And, you know, the other thing is, like, you expect a little more of the sponsors in a way, but I get it. There is, you know, it's just transactional for them. But, you know, I feel like I put so much into the our good partners, and it's kind of crazy when they just drop you like a bag of dirt one over some.
So in 2020, this guy was like, Keemstar? His whole brand is G Fuel. He wears that little hat. He drinks the shaker cup. He drinks the Kool-Aid. Sorry, G Fuel out of that cup. Then goes after G Fuel sponsor But when it happens to him, I hate using this word because, commentary and everybody just like cooms over this word. They just use it way too much. But it's a bit of hypocrisy. Ethan Klein, you, my friend, and this has been known for a while, but you're a big fucking hypocrite, dude. You need to step down. You need to retire. I think you've got enough. You've done enough. You're just tarnishing your image, dude. And it's sad. It's really fucking sad. Seeing where you used to be to where you are now is kind of embarrassing, really. To say that once upon a time I was a fan of you, and now you're just kind of, I don't know, I hate to say it, but you're a bit washed up, buddy. It's a bit sad, but it's a bit true. Alright, I've got another thing on the docket for you, ladies and gentlemen. Another wonderful story. This has to do with the Johnny Depp case. Now, I don't really know how to feel about covering real world topics, but I just wanted to say this video, it just sent me. I thought it was fucking hilarious, so I just wanted to share it with you guys.
You texted Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay. So the Boston flight, you were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there? Ended up with a very ugly situation with Amber. So
Mr. Depp, with respect, trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was simply,
when
you would agree, you would agree that on Let's pull up Exhibit 500, please. 500? 500. Defense Exhibit 500.
Yes, I'd like to see who I lied to.
Sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings, too, right?
Isn't happy hour anytime?
Okay, base. That motherfucker, he just comes in, he's like, I can drink whiskey whenever the fuck I want. Base. That's fucking incredible, guys.
You can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And right after you cut your finger off, right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet. Right after you sustained an injury to your finger, right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Bless you.
you poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah. We're going to fast forward in time a little bit, Mr. Depp.
Yes, I can feel it.
I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury. I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
But you texted Paul Bettany.
So, Johnny Depp, ladies and gentlemen, the base motherfucker. He's just like, I don't know. He takes everything in stride. He's so cool. I love that motherfucker. And when he said mega pint, what is he trying to say? Johnny Depp's Irish? And who the fuck calls it a mega pint? What's a mega pint? What does that even mean? What the fuck? So confusing. But I can't imagine how infuriating it would have to be to fight a defamation case with a clown who keeps asking the same question 15 times. Like, what? He's like the most disorganized lawyer in history, and I think Amber Heard should have called Saul. Let's be real here. If anyone would get Amber Heard out of this case, not that I want her to get out of the case scot-free, but Saul kind of has a knack for that. Finally, This isn't something that I necessarily wanted to talk about, but I feel like it's kind of necessary to bring up. There's a small commentator commentary channel rather, named Cammy, and he did some questionable things. He got into a little bit of an relationship with with the 15-year-old, 16-year-old. Now, why does it always have to be adults and minors interacting on Twitter.com? It always has to be that for some reason. I don't understand, and I hate it. Because all of the commentary community, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, there'll be another Google Doc dropped and exposing 1,000, 2,000 sub channel. Man, I know I got 560 subscribers, but that's just, it's so infuriating. Like, why can't adults just talk to adults? Is it really that hard? Is it really that difficult? I just don't understand. And 2, as we'll get into a little bit later, depending on the age gap, is it really anyone's business? See, with Cammy and this girl, I think her name was Lizard, she basically came out with this Google document trying to expose Cammy for, like all the buzzwords, grooming and such. And what I don't understand is that the age gap is like less than 3 years. So a lot of people are saying in a high school context, that's not a big deal, which it isn't. It isn't really. But outside of a high school context, it kind of like, it is a bit weird. Don't get me wrong. Like if I was in high school and there was an 18-year-old dating a 16-year-old or getting intimate with a 16-year-old, I would definitely question that. I would definitely be like, that's kind of fucked up, dude. Don't do that. However, this is Twitter. This is Twitter.com. And it's already, you're already doing it over Discord. You're already doing it over the internet. And that's kind of embarrassing. That's kind of fucking cringe. Let's be real. I don't think you should be doing those kinds of things at all over the internet. Of course, if you know this person in real life, that's fine. Whatever. But like, relationships are just kind of cringe, bro. They're not it at all. It's not where it's at. And I just wish somebody would stop it. Just please stop messaging people on Discord. Stop using Discord altogether. Delete Twitter. Delete the app from your phone. Fuck it. I'm going nuclear with this. Nobody used that app anymore. Fuck. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. But with the Cammy situation, it was revealed recently by, again, Aiden Projects, the famous commentary YouTuber, that John Swan was involved in creating the document to expose Cammy. Why? Because Cammy's a little bit of a lolcow in their circle of friend group. Like, they kind of just pick on him. They pretend that they're friends and then they just, take the piss behind his back. Which is, it's fine. Do whatever you want, I guess. Kind of a dick thing to do. But then, to actively be involved in something like this is quite strange, especially since previously there was a statement by John Swan saying, I wasn't involved. I made some edits here and there, but I didn't really entice her to write it. She came to me and she said, there's something weird going on. I feel like I'm being manipulated. I feel like I'm being used. I feel like I'm being groomed. There's that buzzword. But in reality, John Swan made quite large edits to the document. Here is Aiden Project in his own words. The details of John's involvement in the document were revealed to me in full detail as of today. It can be definitively proven that John edited the 15-year-old victim's statement with his own wording and passed it off as what she stated. The orange is John. This is just one page. So, here, I think, how much would you say is orange there? Majority, if not 60%, 65% of that is orange. So that's all John Swan's editing there. And he denied being a part of it at all. What the fuck? I think this is definitive proof that, one, John Swan lied again. No sex mod. He wasn't Dream. It wasn't the 12-year-old autistic cousin. It was him all along. And also, he did have bigger involvement. And I feel like there's going to be more information that drops on this later on. But for now, this is what we have. And this is what we're working with. And it's just, the way it was done was very slimy, very dishonest. And just don't, like, I hate to say it like this, but who gives a fuck, really? If you want to be a little degenerate on Discord, just as long as it's not a fucking, like, super minor, you know what I mean? I don't, let people do their thing. Like, unless it's a massive age gap, like a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, that would be wrong. That would be very fucking wrong. This is gross. This is degenerate behavior, but it's just Discord. That's Discord for you. A harbor of little kid diddlers, dude. It's so fucked. And the reason I didn't want to talk about it was because it's so crusty. It's so fucking gross. Like, this shit just happens all the time on Discord. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have on the docket for tonight. And I know it wasn't as long as the last one, but I will say that it was also very interesting. I had a bit of fun. Made some memes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this Saturday Ike Live episode 2. I will be back next week with some more stories for you. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching till the end. Much appreciated. I will see you guys next week.